All right, folks. Super Duty Tough Work, the most infamous podcast on planet Earth, back again, as per usual. Your man, Pretnificence, my illustrious co-host, Illogic, is in the building. How you doing today, sir?
What up? Yeah, man, I'm good, man. You know, life is lifing, but that's not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, things are working out. Got some special things coming up planned. What I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, should I announce it first on Super Duty?
It's up to you, brother. It's up to you if you want to let the cat out the bag.
Promo, but yo, all right, I'm gonna let the people know. I'm gonna let the people know.
I can hear the excitement in your voice, brother. Go ahead. You gotta let it out the bag, man.
I'll let it out the bag. So, as many of you may know, this is the 20-year anniversary year of Celestial Clockwork.
Mm-hmm. Illogic's classic album.
The classic joint.
Landmark underground rap record.
You know what I mean? On many lists. You know what I'm saying? October 12th at Natalie's on Grandview, doing a 20-year anniversary show with a live band, rocking the whole album front to back.
Mm-hmm.
Might be some special guests in the house. You know what I'm saying? Never know.
Yeah.
And we got some big plans for it. So, you heard it here first. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
The ticket link will be up pretty soon. And flyers will be out, posters and all that stuff. It's going to be VIP. You can, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be nice. You know what I'm saying? Sit down.
You need to wear a tie in
some
this
general
joint?
admission.
Huh? Okay. Seating in there?
It's going to be seating. You know what I'm saying? VIP tickets available. Some swag bags if you get the VIP. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Going to be some things popping. You know what I mean?
You've been busy, brother.
Yeah, but I'm super, super excited. Had the first practice with the band last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm charged. Like, I didn't know what to expect because I never rocked with a band before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how they were going to interpret the songs,
right?
All that stuff. But like first practice, like I was mad amped when I left after that. Like I was nervous before, but after I left and heard what they came up with, I was like, this is going to be fire.
Hell yeah.
So mark your calendars, October 12th.
Yep. And I know we got fans and listeners from all over the country, but if you are in the Midwest or in Ohio, shoot through. This is a Saturday, I assume. Was it Saturday?
Yep, it's a Saturday.
Okay, Saturday. So, a lot of y'all don't work on Saturdays. So make the trek to Columbus to hear a record in its entirety that you may never hear again.
Exactly.
in this form. You know, the record is 20 years old, which is crazy to fucking think.
Man, we old, man.
Ooh. Records, man, they grown. Our records almost old enough to drink.
Right.
They can serve.
Unforeseen been drinking for a couple years now.
Right. Serving in the military, all them records. They can do all types of adult shit. They got bills in their names.
Right.
Damn.
Right. Mortgages and whatnot.
Yeah. It's wild when you think about it though, too, because it's like sometimes I'll be talking to people and they'll be just kind of getting on their journey and somehow we'll have a conversation about shit. They'll be like, damn, I'm just getting started. You was doing that in 04, 05, and 06. But yeah. We've been doing this a minute, man. It's funny. Like you think of some of those records, like, we were in our bag deep. Like we was doing this shit heavy.
Yeah.
At that point.
We was doing things. We were doing special things. We didn't even know how special the things we were that we were doing at the time. Some of them. Like we knew Celestial was something special when we did.
Yeah, we knew that joint. That's why we didn't want to give it to nobody.
Right.
It's like, nah, we keeping this. We had some label interest. We was like, nah, we keeping this bad boy. But man, it's dope. So if you're in Columbus, support the movement, support the Super Duty movement. Last weekend I was out, played 2 shows, and one in Austin, one in Dallas. Bumped into some Super Duty listeners in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the good brothers out there who came out to see me again. And they told me to tell you what up, Illogic. They're like, when you going to come out here and rock with us, Illogic? When you going to get on the road again? People be wondering, man. The people want to know.
Probably sooner than later. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and Print got some things bubbling. So, once those things, materialize, that is a strong, strong possibility.
Yeah, man. So, Illogic he's doing his thing. He ain't left Columbus in a minute. But he's still in his bag, pushing the art, and support the movement. So this week we've been talking. We had talked for a minute if we ain't talked to each other in a minute. Be a 20-minute intro. This week, man, we doing album reviews. Yes. Album reviews. We haven't done one of these in a long fucking time. And it's something that we've been saying we want to get back to, doing album reviews again. So this week we're going to do album reviews. We got 4 reviews we're doing this week. We're going to talk about the new Shrapknel album, friends of the show. We're going to talk about the new Common and Pete Rock album. We're going to talk about the new Slum Village album. And we're going to talk about the new Ghostface Killah album. 4 records. We're going to try to get them in and not take all day doing it. Y'all know us. We don't be dillying and dallying. Ain't no hemming and hawing. Ain't no shucking and jiving. We're going to give it to you, the real, the raw, and let y'all know what we think. We not haters, but we do be telling the truth.
Right.
On this podcast. You can respect us for that. And so if you haven't heard any of these albums, this will be a good opportunity to hear what we think about them. And if you have heard them, we can compare notes and see how y'all notes compare to ours. And we'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Word.
We got you stuck off the realness, the most infamous, you heard of us. Official podcast murderers, the show comes equipped with viewpoints to share. Grown man ideas for all those who care and want to grow, so go ahead and download. Every single week with a brand new episode. You're not alone in this world, cousin, so we share information and honest discussion and keep repping the culture like we supposed to. They spread gossip, but they never come close to. I can hear it inside their tone. They talk about the industry but never left their home. You get laced up with bullet points and such, plus empowering topics that they never would touch. You can put your whole network against the team, but Super Duty Tough Work's the MVP. Most valuable podcast on MP3. Priceless info, but all of it's free. So take these words home and think them through. Super Duty Tough Work is coming at you. You are now listening to Super Duty Tough Work with your host, Blueprint. Raw and uncut. Adult conversations. No shucking, no jiving, and no bullshit.
Super Duty Tough Work. Back again. Back from break. Album reviews. Is this the first one of 2024 we've done?
Yeah.
Man, first album reviews of 2024 we've done. Okay, let's get it started out properly with friends of the show, Shrapknel, Curly Castro, Prem Rock, and their new album, produced by Controller 7. Nobody even
Nobody plays the lead.
Nobody playing in the league. This record, man, fire. Well put together. And man, I've listened to it in a couple different settings. The first setting I listened to it in was on my bike, actually. I was riding through the trails of Columbus, trying to put in 20 miles on that bike. And man, I threw this thing on. I was like, oh.
Yeah, you can get lost in it if you're doing that. Like you just get lost because it's a whole nother world. Like they transport you into a whole nother, like with Controller 7's production.
Yeah.
And just Curly Castro and Prem, they so yin and yang.
Yeah.
And it just drops you into a whole nother world. So I know you was rolling.
Yeah, I was dipping. And it was like, and it's very interesting when like your terrain changes as you're biking and as you're listening to this record where the beats change a lot. It's kind of wild. It's like, damn, you turning corners, you in the woods sometimes, and then the beats will change and flip, you going downhill, and sometimes the music will, and it's I got notes on this record, and some of my notes on this record are like, first note is that it's a perfect match between the production and the rhymes.
Oh yeah, easily.
I think that they did very well to enlist Controller 7 of, Anacon fame. He's been around for a minute. And his style perfectly complements them and their styles. And, Castro and Prem are kind of yin and yang too, but his style accommodates both of them. You never feel like he's like making beats that only one of them would rock to. It's like he totally gets both of them. It's got a lot of beat switch ups, a lot of tempo switch ups, just super cohesive. The songs blend excellent into each other, so it's like, it's not just start, stop, start, stop. which a lot of albums can turn into. You know, we've always been heavy on trying to make cohesive pieces of art, and this album reminds me of why that's important.
Yeah,
because it doesn't. To me, it's like it's not. There's no singles on the record per se.
Right.
To me, the record is just one piece. It feels like one piece that was put together, and everything works together. And you can't just pull this song out like this is the single off of this record, and it doesn't sound. And you know what I mean? It's not like it's not like that. It's the single only in the sense of we released this song first to let y'all know where we going with this, but not in a single. You know what I mean? Like like this song is more appealing and it will get to the masses. That's not a Shrapknel single at all. Their shit is like, hey, here's the first joint off the record. We're gonna share this with y'all so y'all know what we doing, and the rest of the record finds that thing, man. So crazy record.
Yeah, I think this record is super dope. So dope that I bought the vinyl.
Yeah,
you know, I purchased the limited edition white vinyl, which it's beautiful.
Nice.
It's a dope insert inside of it that unfolds and got pictures in there, and you know,
shout out to Backwoods.
Yeah, shout out to Backwoods doing it right. But listening to this record, I think I echo everything that you said. I think it's well put together. Honestly, I think it's their best record so far. Yes,
definitely.
I think the last record they put out was like second place because that was my favorite record of theirs before hearing this. And I think if you want to know what to expect from this record, I think there's two songs that you can listen to that kind of sum up the record.
Yeah.
And I think one is Live Element.
Yep.
Because the way the beat changes the second way for Prem.
Yep.
It goes into more like a jazzy place where he's just kind of doing his poetry thing. You know, it's not really a lot of drums in the second part. And the first part is a little more, 4/4, but it's slow for Castro. And then Illusions of P. Like, I think if there is a single, like if there was a song, if I listened to this record and thought like, what song would I put out first?
Yeah.
I think Illusions of P would be that joint because just the beat is so fucking catchy. Like the beat is so fucking fire, and the way they rhyme over it is super, super dope. Dadaism 3, you know, not just because the Illogic, you know what I'm saying? Not just because the Illogic shout out is in there, you know what I mean?
Wordplay in there, yeah.
But that joint is fire too. Like I really, really love this record. When I got sent it, early, like I couldn't stop playing it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those records you put on, especially for, the kind of rhyming that I do. It made me want to write like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like it just put me in that space where, I just wanted to get my Heavenly Cotton Balls on. You know what I mean?
Yes, the original of the Heavenly Cotton Ball style himself.
So yeah, like love the record. Love it, Ben. Yeah, keep pushing. Shout to Backwoods. Controller 7 did a hell of a job producing.
Yeah.
I think they should. Personally, I think they should stick with him going forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just make him part of the group. You know,
the third member, Shrapknel. Yeah. We are in an era where it's like, and this record made me think of that, and of like the era of where you would work with one producer. And that producer would just understand what you're trying to do, and you would just stick with them and develop it. And it's almost like we're in like the opposite era now, where it's more like a la carte albums. And I don't think that that's the best approach. And I've even changed my approach, even as a producer. Like if I know someone, or if I have a rapport with them, I'm more likely to want to produce an EP or a album with them than to just throw them a hot song, a hot beat, and they do a song over that. I don't think that song is best served, and I don't think the vision is best served when we do that. And I think these guys definitely have tapped into something with Controller 7. And it's a kind of record you can only make with one producer.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
And it takes a lot of trust, and like everything from the interludes to the vocal samples, everything is lined up. I also want to just give a huge shout out to just like the engineering of this record sonically.
Oh yeah.
Which
Willie,
is
Willie doing his thing.
bro, I think he might be the best engineer in our lane.
Oh yeah.
Like the thing about their music is like it's underground in terms of its aesthetics.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like gritty and grimy aesthetically. Like that's dirty, but sonically it's not. Sonically,
not at all.
It's you could put that record up against like the best records that are out.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was, I think this record came out around the same time Kaytranada's new record came out, and I listened to him back to back on my bike ride, and I was like, this Kaytranada record sounds like shit, which was not what I expected. I expected Kaytranada's record to be sonically, it's dance music, it's just fast, pretty shit, R&B-ish. The record sounds horrible to me. And then I listened to this record, I'm like, these dudes don't mess with the engineering. I love that we're in an era where just because you're making quote unquote underground shit don't mean it gotta sound dirty or like dusty shit. Or lower quality. Yeah, like shit. It don't gotta sound like that. You can mentally be making some avant-garde, some progressive shit and it still sound clean and can compete sonically with everything else out.
All the backwoods shit is like that. All the Billy Woods records, all of the Arm & Hammer records, all of them sound, because Willie is the fucking man.
Yeah, he's a great engineer, man.
Yeah.
Great. So I wanted to give him some flowers because like, this shit, as soon as you hear it, you're like, and to hear it next to records who have infinitely more budget, infinitely more prestige, and it's like, no, he's kicking their ass.
Mm-hmm.
They're not all of his shit, their whole catalog.
Yep, all of it.
Yeah. So, that record is fucking great, man. It's my highlights are is it Dadaism? Dadaism. 3 will Open My Eagle, Live Element that you mentioned, Human Form, and a Deep Space 9mm pulled a pistol. Those are like my favorite joints on there, but like there ain't no bad joints on there. It all kind of goes together. You can get lost in this record.
Yes.
Because of the way that it kind of moves in and out seamlessly between songs. And so, that record, man, I think it's, and it's been getting a lot of great acclaim, which is good. Like you take it there, you take these chances and you get the response on that front, and that starts the ball rolling. So we wish nothing but some success to them brothers. They rock with us, friends of the show. I've directed music video for those brothers before, 2, for Curly and 1 for Shrapknel's previous project, and man, much success to them. Keep carrying the flag, and shit, I at least 4 out of 5 dialogues to me. I mean,
it's a 4.5.
Yeah, like it's
a 4.5
minimum 4. It's like it's 4.5. Yeah, it's like, what can I say? The only knock is that it don't appeal to everybody.
Right, exactly.
That's the only way you can knock it.
Yeah, you're not going to bump this really on a road trip with your family. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't that kind of record.
And it's not supposed to be. So it's like, I can't really.
Right. It's not a knock on the record. Like this record is perfect. Like on a nice summer night. You know what I'm saying? Sun just went down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just rolling by yourself. Moon is out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's a beautiful night record, definitely.
Yeah. And to those listening, if you ride a bike, put this joint on while you riding your bike and see how that motherfucker make you feel. It's a adventure in and of itself.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's the first joint. Let me see. We want to go to let's take a break and we'll be right back.
Okay, cool.
This is your weekly reminder that we have 2 books that you, as a listener or watcher of this podcast, need to absolutely own. The first is The 10 Traits of Successful Hip Hop Artists, and the second is The Social Media Cheat Code. Both of these books were released within the last year. The 10 Traits of Successful Hip Hop Artists is a book where I go through the stories and explain the traits that are behind the success of some of the biggest names in hip hop today. The book has got nothing but amazing feedback. And if you are an artist, business person, whatever you do, if you would like to be inspired and would like to learn more about hip hop along the way and also see some reinforcement of the concepts that we talk about on this podcast, The 10 Traits of Successful Hip Hop is for you. Second book is The Social Media Cheat Code. That is for everyone who listens to this podcast who does not consider themselves an expert or really good at social media. It's not for super experienced people. It's actually for people who are on social media but are not getting the results you need. So what we did is I broke down like 12 or 13 strategies that I use all the time that actually work really well for me. I put it into book. I gave you examples and I tell you how to implement it. That's a book you absolutely need as a listener to this podcast, watcher of this podcast. If you're on YouTube, supporting these books actually goes a long way towards supporting the podcast. So to support the show, if you like what we do, obviously we don't necessarily get paid to do this shit. So support the products and services that we create. And these 2 books are a big part of that. We appreciate your support, and back to the show. What's up, everybody? Got some big news to share with you all today. I'm proud to announce that for the first time, I will be opening up my artist coaching and consulting services to the public. I have been doing it for several years behind the scenes, helping artists and small businesses achieve their goals, but it's never been something that I made publicly available, nor anything that I promoted until now. So if you're an artist or a small business owner, I'm now available to be booked for one-on-one sessions designed to help you achieve your goals as quickly and as efficiently as possible. If this is something that you're interested in, email me at superdutytoughwork@weightless.net. Tell me a little bit about yourself and we'll get the ball rolling from there. I look forward to working with you all. Peace. All right, folks, we back. Super Duty Tough Work, Blueprint, Illogic, album reviews. In the first segment, we discussed the new Shrapknel album, Nobody Planning to Leave, out now, Backwoods. It is a dope record. Pick that up. Friends of the show. Shout out to those good brothers. Next record we want to talk about has also been getting a lot of buzz. Common and Pete Rock, The Auditorium, Volume 1. This record, to me, if I had to say like a big overall thing about this record is the record that all of the people in Common's lane among his peers should be trying to make, but they fight tooth and nail not to make.
Because they want to sound like new. They want to appeal to the younger kids. They want to, be on. They want to get the new acclaim, and that's not their lane. That's not their fan base.
You see it. We all see it. We all see what these guys, when they be reaching to try to write pop records and crossover records and have commercial hits long after their days on the radio are dead and done. And they got this sound and they got these hardcore fans and they're just kind of like, fuck what y'all want to hear. I'm gonna make some shit that sounds like it can sit among whatever the current sound is right now. But it totally goes against why we like these people. Like,
exactly.
We like Common and Pete Rock for a specific reason, for a specific sound. And this record to me sounds like what happens when brothers finally stop trying to reach for some shit that they ain't gonna get anyway and just make a good hip hop record.
Yeah.
Let's just make some good hip hop. You want to do that?
That's it.
That's it. That sounds like the conversation. Like, that's it. You want to make some hip hop? Yeah, let's make some hip hop. None of this like angling and scheming. And if we do this kind of single and we get this person on the hook and we get this video director and we do this feature with this guy, YSL, this guy, and we get this fucking current guy. None of that shit. And I love it. I love that they did it. And I personally think, I think you and I might talk about this online, but this is Nas's doing, man. I think Nas and his records with Hit Boy have allowed his peers to see that it's okay to just give your fans what you want.
Yeah, just do what we know you for.
That's it.
Do what we like you for. Because if you do that, we'll pick it up, we'll listen to it, and we'll give you praise along the way.
Yeah. It's like Common, he's rhyming his ass off on this record. Like you can hear he cares. Like he really cares. Like, oh, I like that. Pete is doing Pete. It ain't my favorite Pete Rock beats front to back. No, but shit, it's got enough highlights on it to where well worth the price of admission. I'm happy about it. I'm excited they made the record. And it's like, when the bar is simply just doing what people love you for already, like, I don't need no next level shit.
Right.
It's so much easier than they're making it.
Dope beats, dope rhymes. What more do y'all want?
That's it. What more do you want?
That's it.
You know, but that's my thoughts. What do you think? What do you think about it?
When I first listened to this record the first time, the first thought that I had once I was about halfway through it was that it's been a long time since I've listened to a hip hop record that made me feel good. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the feel of the record. Like, the records are bright.
Yes.
The records are, happy. There's no doom and gloom.
Absolutely.
It's just a feel good hip hop record.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, I don't think it's Pete's best beats. I've heard better.
Yeah.
But it fits what they're doing. And it just works really good. And Common sounds great over the beats.
Yep.
He's doing what Common does. I think he name dropping a little more than I would like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He is the master of the name drop punchline. Like the
mad name drop punchlines.
Climb Lauren's heels or some shit like that. He'll give you one of those, boy. He'll give
you at least 3 to 5 per song.
Per song. Yeah.
He going in. But just overall, like it's a feel good hip hop record. Some shit you could throw on at the barbecue. Some shit you could, do the electric slide to some of these songs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just some feel good shit. Now, I would personally have wanted some more up tempo joints.
Yeah.
I think it stays in that. Like, I think it probably 87 to 90 is probably it. You know what I'm saying? And 90 is pushing it.
They got some joints that are even slower than that. I'd say like 85, 80 that are
they got some slow joints on there. So I would have, because I think Common does really well with up tempo joints.
Yeah.
But that's my only real qualm. And, there's a couple joints that aren't, the joint with his woman,
shouldn't be on it. Yeah, it's 15 songs.
Yeah. So
it needs to be 10 to 12.
Yeah, 10 to 12 would have probably been perfect. You know what I mean? But outside of that, overall, like, I love the record. I'm happy they made it. I'm looking forward to Volume 2.
Yes.
Because they did say Volume 2 is already pretty much done.
Yeah.
Because they just did a bunch of joints. They just been working. And they did it the old school way. They did it in the same studio. Com writing to the beats when Pete's making the beats.
That's like what I'm talking about.
And it feels like that. It feels like they really, work together on this record. And I just like it. And I think it's a great record for where we are right now in hip hop. Because I think you're right. Like, I think Nas kind of set the tone to where, like, I'm just gonna do me. I'm just gonna get some dope beats.
Yep.
And I'm gonna rap my ass off.
Drop frequently.
Yep. And my people gonna like it.
Yep. He's not sitting around waiting on no fucking bigger situation. Nas is just like, no, here's 7 more songs of good hip hop. Here's another EP randomly of good hip hop. Yeah. If this album is like, my only gripe would be cut it to 10 to 12 songs.
Yeah.
And then you really would have something strong on here where it's like, and it might be in burner if you cut it down to 10 to 11 songs.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
easily.
You know what I mean? That's the only thing. But it's like kind of to be expected because guys, they eventually will start kind of being like, we ain't got to put everything on here. We ain't got to try to get it all back at once.
Right.
It's okay to have some shit that don't come out, But yeah, I'm glad this record came out. I'm glad, honestly, that like somebody gave Pete Rock a shot. Not that Pete Rock is some bum ass producer. He's a legend. But I do feel like when you compare his burn to his peers.
Oh yeah, he don't get burned like that.
He don't. Guys don't allow Pete to do whole albums anymore.
I mean, Pete and Preem are on the same level. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are not. There's no gap.
No.
You know what I'm saying? With their place in hip hop, the pantheon of hip hop history, Pete got joints just like Preem got joints.
Yep. And yet Pete don't really, if you compare who's done more full-length albums, it's like 100 to 1.
Oh yeah, easily.
Like Preem probably got 50 albums that he's produced full for other people. And it's like, Pete really ain't had those shots, man.
Yeah.
And so it's dope to see somebody give Pete a shot. And I think Common was perfect. And I hope that they kind of continue this and just get better and better. And I hope that they do it like, just like what Nas is doing with Hit Boy, where he's like, look, fuck it. I don't care about none of that shit. I'm just gonna make some shit, feed my people what they want to hear, stop overthinking it, and just drop it frequently. I hope that they do the same thing. Don't overthink it. Just get better and better, fine tune it, and it becomes something that we like look forward to every year or two from these guys.
Yeah.
You know? Because the response has been great. You know what I mean?
Oh, been very good.
Like watching that performance of when the sun shines again on
on Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, that's one of my standouts.
Yeah.
I mean, those who know me know Pasta Noose is like, a god to me. So just having him on there is a plus. But like that's one of those songs that I'm talking about. Like listening to that song, it just feels good.
Feels good. Feels good.
Feels so good. Dreaming, on our way and Wise Up are my like 4 big standouts for me.
Yeah.
But overall, there's a good amount of joints on there.
Yeah. Yeah, there is something to be said about hip hop that just makes you feel good. Right? Like there's not enough of it.
Yeah.
Like I can even say in my catalog, the majority of people's favorite songs are songs that make people feel good. Like when you got joints that make people feel good, it's just a whole different feeling. Like, yes, that's hip hop. You know what I mean? It's not the easiest thing to do because sometimes, we as writers be taking shit all kind of other places. You know what I mean?
Right.
And but the reward of it is moments like this. Like it made me think too, like Common has had like multiple iconic performances like that. Remember when Common and Kanye did that performance from the kitchen on Dave Chappelle's show? Yep. That shit was epic as shit. You know what I mean? And then like this shit with him and Bilal and Paz on the couch and Pete on the that shit felt epic as shit, like to the same degree. Like, oh shit, hip hop is back. Like
right.
They're back. Hey, it's still alive. Like that's how I felt watching it. Like, oh shit. Yeah. I was amped. Like I watched it on repeat like 5 or 6 times. Like, damn. It's still alive. Hip hop ain't dead, man. You know what I mean? Just those iconic type performances too. And I mean, I don't know about 4. Just because it's a little too heavy on the tracks, too many tracks. But I'd say 3.5, 3.75. Probably.
Yeah, I give it a 3. I give it a 3.5. I give it a 3.5.
Yeah, somewhere around there is probably. If they tighten it up on the track listing.
Yeah, it could be a 4 easy.
Right. And here's what's crazy. Like the difference is like you can have a lot of tracks if they're integrated well. Right? Like you look at the Shrapknel album we just talked about. They got just as many tracks, but they are more cohesive in how they're constructed.
And with the beat changes, it doesn't feel like it feels like the songs are moving differently. You know what I'm saying? They're moving in a more adventurous way.
Yes.
As opposed to just 4 minutes of a loop.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And so I'm like, if you're just going to do a 4-minute joint, it got to be top joint. It can't be no bullshit. You know what I mean? Like you can't have filler if you're not going to change it up, but yeah. So that's that. That's Common and Pete Rock, the Auditorium. Next album we want to talk about Slum Village F.U.N.
I was asleep. I was asleep.
You were sleeping on this one. I've been banging this album since I got home from tour. Like it was about beginning of June. And I think me and Detox had it on when I was dropping him off. And we was just like, what is this? We both was like, man, this shit sound all right. And after I got on tour, I start riding around, start biking. I'm like, yo, man, the production on this record.
Production alone.
Crazy. And they're rhyming way better than they used to rhyme too. Like they actually are sounding really dope rappers like T3 and RJ. Once upon a time, Slum Village was like vibe rappers. They weren't like
just vibe.
Just vibe. They was just all just like you listen to them when you want the vibes to be up. It wasn't like punchline or cleverness and those shit. It was like, nah, they just sound great. They got dope voices. They know how to ride a beat. They know how to say, it was like they're just like almost the same kind of thing you look at when you look at how A Tribe Called Quest would always ride the beat perfectly.
Oh yeah.
They would always have these, like Fife and Tip would always have these perfect ways to ride the beat. It wasn't that they were saying complicated shit, but how they complimented the beat was always perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Slum Village is known for that, not for their bars. You know what I mean?
Right.
But man, this record is fucking sick. It sounds sonically great. You put it on, the beats are up tempo on some like 100 to 110, 120 BPM shit. It's just bouncing on some like disco. You just skate rink shit. It's just bouncing all over the place. You be feeling good. It's like, you know, it's like a fucking dope ass record that like, dude, I could put this record on any fucking time.
Yeah, I was listening to it on the couch and I was nodding my head and Tay was like, "What are you listening to?" She's like, "You gotta put that on the speakers. Like you go over there going crazy." I was like, "These beats are crazy." I put it on and she listened to the whole record with me.
Yeah.
You know, and she don't really, you know, listen to Slum like that. You know what I mean? She's like, "This record is crazy." She's like, "What's it called?" She looked it up on her Spotify. Like, "What's this?" Yeah, it's dope. From so when I put it on, you know, first I heard Brittany Carter on the intro. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. You know what I'm saying? Because I like Brittany. I think she's dope. I think she's a dope up and coming lady, you know, in rap. Just dope MC, period. But then it goes to, what is it? All Live?
Yeah.
Part 1?
Yep.
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro. When that shit hit,
yeah.
I was like, oh shit. I was like, if the rest of the record sounds like this,
yeah,
this might be my new favorite record of the year so far.
And it does.
And it does. It does. It does. Like, All Live Part 2 is a little slower. You know, got Fat Cat on there. You know what I'm saying? Fire. Super fire. To the disco. Super fire.
That
To the disco is so crazy.
That is that vibe. Yeah. This is like fucking Afro beach. That shit is crazy too.
Crazy. So Superb, I think, was the
yes. That's just great too.
Oh man, so many. Like, you put this record on, you don't have to skip anything. It's a front to back, and it's only 30 minutes.
Yep.
Like 30, they get in and get out.
31 minutes.
They get in and get out of the songs. Like the songs are no longer than 3 minutes.
Come on.
I think. Like, and it's what, like 10 songs, 12 songs?
12
maybe?
songs. You take away the intro, they don't even rap on the intro. So technically 11 songs, 31 minutes.
Yep, they get in, get out. It's so good. If you haven't heard this record yet, you need to do yourself a favor.
Yeah.
And put this joint on, because it's the best record that I've heard probably in the last couple years.
Yeah, it's so good.
Easily.
And like it especially because now it's summertime. This is the ideal season for this record. You gotta rock this shit right now. Like this shit is so fucking on time. But to add on to what you were saying about the length of it, this is like, if we got a version of this Pete and Common record like this,
oh yeah,
forget about it. They could whittle that joint down to like 10, 11 tracks, man, and it would fucking be like powerful, way more powerful. Because this record is powerful. It ends, you just let it go again and again. Because you're like,
you just let it play.
Like, it just goes back to track 1, hear the intro again, you just get back in the vibe again. Like, all right, here we go. Nah, this record, it's one of those, man.
Yeah.
It's one of those, man. And like, you know, we are pretty versatile listeners. You know, we listen to, you know, all types of rap. You know, Slum Village ain't nothing like Common and Pete Rock. You know what I mean? Slum Village ain't nothing like Shrapknel. You know what I mean? But we listen to and appreciate all this shit because it's all dope hip hop. And it's like, we don't want everybody to make the same thing. We just want whatever you do to be well executed.
Yeah. Do it at the highest level. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. If you do that, then shit, we happy. So yeah, this record, this is at least a 4 out of 5 die line. This is like 4,
I'm giving this a
5.
I'm giving this a 5.
Yeah, it's like fire.
I think this record, like, I think there's one song that I was like, meh.
Right.
But even that song, I ain't want to shut it off.
No.
Because the beat was so fire.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I think this record is damn near perfect. Maybe a 4.8. You know what I'm saying? Out of 5.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got all of the shit that makes me really like a record. Like,
yeah,
it's not too long. It's to the point. Super well produced. It makes you feel a kind of way. You get lost in it, and then when it's over, you're like, shit, let that motherfucker run back again. Like this.
Yeah. And
I can throw it on anytime. So yeah, I agree. There's definitely 4 4. I was gonna say at least. I was like at least 4 because the only knock could be is too short because you just want more of it. But,
yeah, that's the thing. Like we never complain about records being, it's rare that we like, oh, it's too short.
Right.
Yeah, but I think the length works for it. But if it was 1 or 2 more songs with this same vibe, I wouldn't be mad. I would not be mad at all.
No complaints if it was a couple more joints.
Like if they would have went to a 40-minute joint, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have been mad. I wouldn't have been mad. 10 more minutes of this. Yeah.
Right. But nah, it's beautiful. So yeah, that's the F.U.N record by Slum. We'll take a break and we'll be right back. Quick announcement. Over the last several years, we've been asked many times by the listeners of the show if we would ever open it up to the public for advertising. We've always been interested in this, but we never had the systems in place to make it work properly. I'm proud to announce that we are officially accepting advertising from the public on Super Duty Tough Work. Meaning, if you're a small business owner or an artist and you'd like to create more awareness about your product, service, or release on the Super Duty Tough Work podcast, we're now in a position to do that. For more information, email us at superdutytoughwork@weightless.net. Again, that's superdutytoughwork@weightless.net. Email us there. Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you would like to promote, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible to let you know if we think it's a good fit and what the next steps are. Thank you for your time. Back to the show. Are you an artist who has the talent to succeed, but has a hard time executing? Do you have the will to win, but lack the plan? Are you tired of having great ideas that never come to fruition, or starting new projects but never finishing them? If you answered yes to any of these questions, reach out to me at superdutytoughwork@weightless.net to book a one-on-one coaching call. Tell me a little bit about who you are, what you're trying to do, and I'll see if I can be of service to you. Have a great day. All right, folks, we back. Super Duty Tough Work. Album reviews this week. We got one more joint left. This last album is from, a legend, Ghostface Killah. I did not know this record was out until Illogic put me on. So I put him on to the Slum Village late in the game. He put me on to the Ghostface late in the game. The Ghostface record is called Set the Tone. I don't know exactly when it came out, but I'm assuming it's recent.
Yeah, it's I think it's about a month now, probably.
Yeah. I don't know the production credits on this record.
I don't either.
I haven't seen anything saying any specific. It's definitely not one producer. Don't feel like it. Nothing like that. If I had to summarize this record, I would say Ghost is not bad.
No.
Ghost is rapping with some passion and some fire.
He's being Ghost.
He's being Ghost. The thing about this record is that I think it needs an executive producer, and it needs the type of vision that we just talked about with the Common and Pete Rock and the Slum Village, because they're both legacy artists at this point. Slum Village got a catalog go back to mid 2000s that's classics. They can go play Volume 1 shit and still slay. You know what I mean? With Players and like they can go slay with all of that shit. Then they got shit without Dilla that's fire. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like they done been around and they got hits. Same thing for Common and Pete. But what we talked about with the Common and Pete was this explicit admission of what people want to hear from you. And being self-aware enough to say, you know what? This is what people want to hear. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to work this shit out with Pete. Pete, let's get on the same page. What does it take to get you to do this record, Pete? Well, I don't want to be mailing no MP3s and no beats. You got to come here and we got to chill out and you got to write. Common said, all right. Because
that's all.
That's it.
That's all you want me to do, Pete. That's all it takes.
Yeah. And Pete's like, I'll do it. I'll do whatever it takes. And I'll do the whole record. And let's just lock in, you and I, and make some real hip hop shit. And you got to trust me and blah, 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 blah. Because we're going to give the people what they want to hear from us. Ghostface, in my opinion, has never had that conversation because the first 4 or 5 of his songs are they're okay, but then the last 2/3 of this record is him trying to make commercial songs, like songs that are not in his lane. You know what I mean? Like a lot of chick joints, a lot of like just songs where like we don't really want to hear that from Ghost.
Honestly, I think if he did a whole record like 6 Minutes and Pair of Hammers,
like
that kind
of stuff,
that kind of stuff, fire, like 10 to 12, maybe 15 at the most,
right?
Joints in that lane,
yes,
fire,
yes, because the record starts out good. You're like, oh, this might be a nice Ghostface record, and then it just goes down. It just goes. It just does every song. It's like he gets a little further away from what made you like the first 2 joints,
right?
And then by about 7, 8 songs in, you're like, where the fuck are we? What am I listening to? Like 7, 8 songs in, I'm like, is this the same fucking album? What happened? Where we? And then it's not like you can veer for a song. You can veer for a song or 2, but you can't take 4 or 5 or 6 songs in a row and they don't sound like what people want to hear from you. Because then they overpower the shit we do want to hear from you.
Yeah, and the thing is, this record is 20 tracks altogether, but I think it's more like 16 songs because there's some skits in there.
Yeah,
something like that.
3 skits and 3 skits and an outro. So 4 total skits.
Entirely too long.
Yes.
Entirely too long.
Yeah. 52 minutes.
Like, he could have stopped at 10.
Yes. Yeah.
Easily. And it would have been a much better record.
Yep.
Not saying it would have been, still wouldn't have been great because I don't think it's 10 joints on there that really fit that aesthetic that we're looking for.
Right.
But it would have been way better than it ended up being, listening to it, in its entirety. Because it does kind of fall off. I think it falls off a cliff. I think it starts to really fall off a cliff after Scar Tissue with Nas.
Yes, I would agree. That's 4 tracks in. Yeah, that's it. Yep. 4 songs in. You're like, okay, cool. And right after that, it's like, what am I listening to? And it just gets worse. It's just
the joint with Kanye is horrible.
Yeah, and that's that's better than the shit that's after it too.
Oh yeah, it is. But I hate that song.
It's not good, but it's like it's still better than like the last half of the record, which is like, damn. That was a single, but yeah, it's one of those things. It's just like where's the RZA, man?
right.
Where's the RZA when we need him?
Right.
I think
you got Tony out here flailing.
Come on, man. We need you, RZA. RZA, we need you. Ghostface ain't gonna say it, but I'm gonna speak on Ghostface's behalf. We need you, RZA.
Yeah.
I know we've been disrespectful. I know we've been saying that you was the problem. We take it all back, Rakeem. Please come back. RZA, come back, man. Please, what we gotta do? Who we gotta talk to? You want us to beg, RZA? Huh? You gonna make us keep listening to this shit? I know you at home listening to shit laughing. Say, oh, they thought it was me. They gonna see now. I know you laughing at this record. You ain't rocking this shit. You over there like, yep, should have hollered at me.
Should have hit me up.
Should have hit me up. Damn, we need you, RZA. What we got to do? We got to start a petition. We need to change.org. We need an online petition to bring the RZA back to the Wu-Tang. At least as an executive producer.
At least. Because RZA, that's one thing. RZA can put records together even if he ain't produced it.
Yeah.
Like, if RZA say, nah, bruh, that's not it.
That's not it.
That's not it. Tony would listen. He would listen to RZA.
There wasn't nobody in the studio that Tony listened to. Well, nobody in there had respect.
Right.
Couldn't nobody tell him shit. That's why his records sound like this. There was no higher ranking person in the studio sessions. We need somebody with veto power in them sessions, man.
Right.
It's very clear. He got to say, do, write, record, whatever the fuck he wanted. And this record is the result.
Mm-hmm.
And my conclusion is we need the RZA back, man.
Yes. I was thinking that same thing. Somebody need to rein him in.
At least the RZA interesting.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers can tell, oh, Riz ain't got what he used to have. He ain't got it. Hey, look, at least he make some weird ass shit that make you interested. This shit's not interesting.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't even know what I would score this record, man. I feel like I don't even know how many dialogues you get this record if only the first 4 joints is listenable.
I'd say a 2 because Ghost is still Ghost. Ghost can still rap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'd say a 2 because like most of the beats are not it. You know, like there's no grounding of this record. You know what I'm saying? It's just all over the place.
Yeah.
Again, it's entirely too long. I think
Too
this
many
record's like
features.
an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, way too many features.
Way too many features. Yeah, so 2 maybe. 2. Just
Two
because Ghost
dialogues.
is
That's it.
just because Ghost is still dope.
Out of respect for Ghost.
Out of respect for Ghost, I ain't gonna give him a 1. I ain't gonna do him like that. I ain't gonna do Ghost. He a legend. He made the purple tape, man.
That's what I'm saying. We can't.
He was on the purple tape.
Yeah,
you know?
we can't go
Iron
below
Man.
2. Yeah. He got 2 witty classics for us to really shit on this record like we probably would if it was anybody else. He's giving us so much. We gotta at least give him an extra nylon.
Right.
That he didn't earn. For this record. Man. You know you ain't earned that second nylon for this shit, Ghost. We're gonna give it to you anyway.
Out of respect for who you are, for what you've done for the culture.
For the culture, man. You know what I'm saying? You get 2 just for the culture. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the minimum for Ghostface. Now, any lesser MC with less accomplishments, man, they be out of here. They be struggling to get 1 nylon out of us. This kind of shit. Disrespectful. All right, man. So that's it, man. We ain't gonna go too much in on this record, man. It don't need to be, elaborated on much more, man.
Yeah.
I hate that we had, we try to keep the positive stuff at the top of the episodes. Y'all notice.
We want to go negative,
We want to come with all the shit we like. They say, it's better to celebrate the things you like than to complain about the things you don't. So we done gave y'all 3 joints that are fire that y'all should be rocking with, and just a cautionary tale about this Ghostface album, man. Don't do it. Don't even take it there. Go listen to Iron Man.
Yeah, please do yourself a favor.
Make yourself a Ghostface playlist. I promise you, it'll be so dangerous. You won't even care about this record existing. You're gonna forget about this. This is very forgettable. This is like one of them records you turn in when you're trying to satisfy your contract.
Yeah. That's what it seemed. It seemed like, you mailed it in like crazy.
Yeah. Oh, I got to turn in 5 albums to get out of this deal. Here's a 5th album, fool. You know what I mean? Now I'm out of the deal. That's what this record feel like. Yeah. All right, so that's it this week, man. I hope y'all have enjoyed this episode, and let us know what y'all think in the comments. I'm sure some people will probably agree, disagree. It's gonna be, Wu-Tang fans, man. They probably gonna tell us this record is a classic, but we gonna see. You know what I mean? And that's it, man. We'll talk to y'all next week, man. See y'all next week. Peace.
Thank you for listening to Super Duty Tough Work. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Follow the podcast on SoundCloud. Peace.
Shoot, I got styles already that's more complex that nobody know about. I mean, super duty tough work.